can see the hate, I can see the lies. See it in your face, read it out your eyes. Why they watching me? They got their eyes on me. Why they watching me? They got their eyes on me. They want it, while I get it. They lose it while I win it. These the rules of the game you playing. In your eyes I can see you hating. Why they watching me? They got their
Episode number 14. How are you, Leo?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm okay. Today, do you think relationships are harder because of social media?
Yeah. I want to know what you think first before I answer.
No, of course not. I think they're perfect nowadays. It just makes us close all the time. You can check on your loved one constantly.
Fucking lying.
No way. I think we know it has its benefit. It's benefits, but I think they are really hard. Especially, it makes it really hard, especially with trust issues and people just sending stupid message to the person you read, or for example, when you finish a relationship, before you could just move on and have your own life, and now you have your ex constantly messaging you, or your person you with has a boring moment and goes checks another person, and it just allows people to get closer for no reason, and other things happen.
I think it has its benefits, but I think the main issue most people have is boredom. And boredom turns into temptation, and then that's obviously, I think, the biggest negative. I know a lot of people now, you know how everything's been and how big social media is. It's all attention, and people crave attention from someone else by liking a post or engaging with them or putting up a sexy photo that it wasn't. They didn't just take that photo and go, I like that photo, I'm posting it because I want to post it because I like what I'm wearing or whatever. They've taken a photo, then they've taken another one, and they've gone 100 in their camera roll, and they've picked out that specific one because they look best in that specific one because of what they want someone to think about them. That's where I think the issue is, simply.
Yeah. Would you date an influencer?
No.
Why?
I think they're fucking idiots.
Why?
Unless you're being paid, right? If you're being paid, I don't mind that. It winds me up when people in their Instagram bios, you know, you have it's like from my PT account, it says coach, and you can say like public figure. That's another one. It either says influencer or public figure. With
100 followers.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, use my code to get 10% off. And what it is because you must have had a message before. It's like, oh, do you want to be an ambassador for our brand? And it's like, no, because I have to get 100 people to buy it using whatever product it is, using the code that you've given me, and I get a £20 voucher. Yeah. Nah.
I've got a few emails like that, but I never follow through because it's like, you know what they want. They just want someone to... It's like there's a term for it. I don't know if it's micro something, that they use these people to try to, if he messages every day someone, they probably will get 3 or 4 sales for this person.
Amazing business strategy.
They probably will get 3 or 4 sales with that person, but then if they have 100 people doing that, you're talking about 100 plus sales,
and it adds up.
Yeah,
and it's not even that. It's more that it's free advertisement for them.
Yeah.
Because if they have 100 people doing it, that's a minimum 100 people already seeing their content, let alone their followers, and they're following 1,000 people, and it just keeps going.
It's good. It's smart marketing, because at the end of the day, what they will do is they put a margin in the item to pay this person or whatever this person gets. And it's the same thing as Amazon saying it's free shipping. A item might cost £12, but they say, oh, now it costs £14 and the shipping is paid, and they say free shipping.
They already cover it.
It's all to do with the margin, and that's why I never follow through, because unless someone comes to me and says, oh, I'll pay you 20,000, and I say, oh, okay, what do you want me to do? And even then, I think I would need to believe in the product, because I don't want to be associated with for something like. Imagine I would have to say I'm a vegan all my life.
Yeah, I was gonna say vegan.
I can eat steak for breakfast. Like, why would I put myself in this situation where someone might say, and it's not even they might say, it's me. Like, you being at peace with yourself, I think it's more important than making a quick sale and losing credibility. But going back to this topic, I think relationships are a lot harder nowadays. Like, especially if you do a simple mistake of messaging someone or the conversation goes south, you still feel kind of safe because it's just messaging, and conversations are written that they shouldn't be written, and things are said that should not be said, and you can just delete it. And
do you think that's the hardest part about, or the worst part about having a relationship and where social media is today?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Look, there was always all the lot. Since I remember when social media was not in and phones were not in, I remember people were always jealous. And nowadays, dealing with these social media and saying that everything is so normal, it's really hard. People can get close to you just by knowing your name.
Yeah.
And they will message you. You will not go on the street and go up to a person, say hello, oh, you beautiful. You don't do that. And then you have guys messaging girls. If a girl is attractive, she probably will get around to 10. If she posts a story, she probably will go 10 to 5, 3 messages a day of someone saying, hey, you're beautiful. It's like having a buffet at home. And you can, and if you are in a relationship with that person is not someone that doesn't know how to put a stop onto that or have some sort of respect,
deal with it in the appropriate way.
It's going to put in a situation where easily you can get hurt. So that's why I think social media is really hard. All guys are like, they see social media as a shopping, as like go shopping. They see a girl, they message a story, they say anything, and then there's the friends, the guys that I think you and I had a conversation about this, that they check in.
They're just your friends.
Yeah, they check in twice a month. How are you doing? I'm just happy for you. And when she says, oh, just had a fight with my boyfriend, they're like, whenever you want to go for a coffee.
He's such a dick.
Yeah, I would never do that to you. I just go for a coffee so you can lay on my shoulder. And then and men do that. Like, men are so stupid.
For me, I think the big that is a massive point. But I think it's everyone wanting to be someone else, and I think that takes a massive toll on individual personalities as well. So I was actually speaking to one of my clients today, and we were speaking about how at the minute how negative social media is, and even when people are showing their life and it looks amazing, if you're not in a right headspace at that moment in time, that's negativity, because you probably don't even know that person, so you probably don't really give that much of a shit about them in the first place. And secondly, all your Instagram feed is, or Facebook feed, or whatever, is just everyone doing everything amazingly, because no one posts about, oh, I just lost my job. People don't post about that stuff. Rarely. I know some people probably would do it, and then they'll get 100 comments saying, oh my God, I'm so here for you, stuff like that. But it's just a massive tension-seeking thing. And I think sometimes people, not overnight, obviously, but fill in their head with the shit that is on Instagram and Facebook, and models look in certain ways. It's degrading to yourself and puts you in a shitty mentality, and then you start to hate yourself and you just constantly compare yourself. And I think that makes people miserable. And who are you going to take that out on? Your partner.
You shouldn't, though.
No, you shouldn't. And you should just, I mean, it's easier said than done. Just avoid it. And if you're someone that is in a toxic relationship with social media, then you shouldn't be on it.
If you go into a relationship and you think the person that you should come to your life, they're gonna fix all of your issues, and this person needs to make you happy, I'm pretty sure that that's not gonna last.
No, it won't.
Because you will drain out the other person as well.
Will Smith said it. It was Will Smith, wasn't it? Where he said, 2 people must become happy separately, and they come together and become happy together. That's how it should be. And you don't know, and you speak to anyone on social media, they'll lie. Everything is a lie. Obviously, there's certain things like, you know, if they've got a new job, like they're gonna be like, oh, I'm so happy. But then there's like people, they'll post, they'll and this is what I mean as well. You go out for like, let's say, a nice meal, and they'll be like, take a photo of me. Take a photo of me. Oh, now I need a photo here. Can you get a photo of me with this cocktail in my hand? Can you get a photo of the plate? And it just ruins it. Like if you're out with your partner, like, yeah, it's fine. You're gonna get a photo. I don't mind that. But you know, like these influencers on Instagram, like the girls that have like millions of followers and people that vlog their life, they're not living in the moment. They're literally just recording everything, and they're more bothered about what everyone else can see rather than what they can see. And that's what affects relationship. I couldn't be with someone like that.
Yeah, I can. Because I'm someone, for example, if I see someone famous, or I always try to, in a way, not a lot of people, but I always try to think, oh, this person must be really spending a day with that person, because you only see certain bits of that person. You will only see the really bad or the good, and I imagine these people like that posts make their life is all about posting stuff. It's like I cannot imagine being with that person 24/7, because I don't know. I think I think it will be a very dull life. Because let's be honest, extreme famous people always try to run away from showing their own life.
Yeah, you don't know nothing about them.
They try to run away because they know it's not healthy. They hate rock bottom, and then they're all the complaints. They don't have no privacy. They cannot do normal things that normal people do, and you have these people that are influencers showing everything, and the ideal goal is having this environment in their life that
this is
for
what
me
you
it's
should be like.
unhealthy. I don't know, it's like I don't know if I would ever do a vlog daily, but if I did, it would have to have a purpose. It's not like, look what I buy
every day.
Yeah.
And every day you're apparently spending thousands of pounds. You got a watch, and you got a car, and you got a new jacket in a bag, and it just adds up, and it's fake.
No, man, that's unhealthy for me.
Like these people, they get to that place for a reason, and that's because everyone is watching them, and then everyone wants to be like them. And I think it was Gary Vee that said about social media on a video that I watched recently, and he was saying that, actually no, I've seen a video on Facebook actually, saying something about houses were made. Did I send you it?
Oh yeah, that's Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. But okay.
But it's smart. But that might not be true.
But it's true. It's the business model.
Yeah.
But I don't believe it's a bad investment.
No, it's not. No, I don't agree with that. But the concept of it, for everyone that's listening, is obviously the banks loan money. Now, they need to sell that money and get rid of that money to be able to get some back. How are they going to do that if no one has anything to buy? So they put mortgages in place. They put, we'll give you all this money and you pay this back. And now you have to borrow money, and now they make money off it. So they've given you a product, and that product is a house, aka mortgage. Now, I agree with it in that aspect. I don't agree with what he then went on and said afterwards. But that's what these influencers do. They flood your Instagram with, oh, these are the best trainers to have, these designer clothes. They flood your Instagram with it. You follow them, then you follow someone else who has similar stuff, and then your Instagram is just full of fake shit. And then what do you do when you go and get paid? You go and buy some fucking designer trainers or an expensive car that realistically you can't afford because everyone else seems to have it.
True.
And I think that's one of the things that piss me off about social media.
Yeah. And anything that you think it will affect a relationship?
You know what? There is good things. We just slated it for 15 minutes. Now, obviously, you got things like it's nice to post photos and like show off your loved one, and I appreciate that, and I like people that do that as well. I like seeing, you know, like if my mate's posted a photo and he's like date night with his girlfriend, and it's a nice photo of them too. Like that's nice. That's memories you're gonna look back on, and family. Obviously, you can keep in contact with family, and I think you can learn a bit about someone by the types of things they do share, do post. But
yeah, I think in the end of the day, I think you touch a good point there. For example, one thing that I remember when I had my injury in my knee and I was stuck at home for 4 months, I remember going a lot back on my Facebook and I have pictures of I don't even know when. And look at that pictures and I remember when I was here. I remember when I done this, what I was doing, and I think if you take a negative approach, you can say people are just faking their life, but you can also take a positive approach on it and say, yeah, this is what I've done. Oh, I'm really happy that I done this today. So let me post this. But it's about family stuff. It's about your partner. Its memories is different. It's not like if you go to someone and everyone is posting about a watch, a car. But then again, it's whatever people flows their boat. If you are a materialistic, it's nothing wrong about it. You just are, and you live your life how you want to be. I, for example, would hate to have a partner by my side that would be that. Well, I wouldn't have. Simple as that. And yeah, it's very. I don't think that will ever fulfill you in a way. I think it's you're digging a hole for yourself.
Yeah. But
it is what it is. Do you ever just wanna walk away from technology?
No. I mean, my whole job is on my phone, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I mean, we wouldn't be doing this, which is a hobby. Even things like there's just so much stuff like cars. Like listening to the music in your car. Like imagine just having to bike or walk, and it's a 45-minute walk. I wouldn't like that. I think it'd be boring. I think I've grown up obviously around a lot of technology because of my age.
Well, so, you're saying I will create another jungle.
Yeah, I think back in the caveman era, you've probably got, was it like horse and carriages maybe?
Donkeys.
Yeah, I think it's always been there for me, and I don't think I could live without it, to be honest. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like to flirt with the idea. I think if I got to that situation, I might say this is not so great.
So if I could say to you, right, could you do 2 weeks in, you know, like Joe Rogan, he lives in a bloody mountain and he's very secluded. Could you do that? No TV, no phone, no internet, just books. You could do that.
100%.
Look, I could for a couple of days. I think it'd be relaxing.
100%.
Not.
Give me tools. Give me an axe, a bow.
Starting chopping down trees.
What are you gonna do, mate? I'm not going to look at the walls. I'm going to chop all the trees I see.
Gonna go hunting.
And I will, mate. I would enjoy those activities. Mate, I'll be completely honest with you. For me, imagine my ideal life. It would be having no phone with me. If I imagine you got yourself and you were a billionaire, something happened to you and you had you were a billionaire. What I would do is hire someone to have a phone for me and filter the information that has to come to me, because I don't want to be dealing.
Needed.
with a lot of stuff. And once a day I would record a podcast because it's something that I would like to do, invite people. And I would spend my day in the beach or whatever. For me, ideally, it would be having where I could live close to the mountains and the beach, 10 minutes each way. It would be hard to find a place like that, but it would be between that because I like outdoor activities and I like to be at the beach and then work. And if I needed to have any appointments or meetings, this person would come to me and say, look, this day we have to do this and do that. And this is how I would just wanted to make important decisions, and I didn't want to be bothered by petty stuff. And 1 hour a day I would get on my computer, filter comments, reply to people, get in contact with the people I needed to get in contact. That would be it. That for me, it would be a dream.
Yeah. No, I can see what you mean with like the phone stuff, because obviously I'm on mine literally all day, like with clients and then personal stuff. And there's when it sort of hits 9:30 at night, I give myself an hour from when I get back from the gym or work, and I just get through as many comments, as many things I need to reply to my clients as I can, 45 minutes to an hour, and then I leave it. And I try not to reply. Sometimes it's difficult, and sometimes you feel like you have to, and because you do provide a service. But at the end of the day, I would like to have like a cut-off point, or to read that and go, you know what, that doesn't need to be replied to at 10:30 at night. I'm settling down, I'm having my time, I'll reply to that when I get up in the morning. So I think, but that's down to me. I can be more structured with it. I just choose not to because it's so accessible.
Yeah. So imagine this. I'll come to you, Liam. I just want a trip to Thailand, and we're gonna be for a week there in the mountains, and we cannot talk. And you'll be 1 kilometer away from me, and I will be in my own cabin. You will have your own cabin, and for a week they will drop us there. And then they'll come and get us a week later. Would you do it? No electricity.
No. Now, if you said we were together, yes. Not in separate, because I'll probably
cry.
Yeah. I'd starve for a week to start with. If we're together,
you would have food for a week.
I've got to put a fire on and everything.
Yeah.
I can start a fire with a lighter.
you would have a lighter. Okay. You would have a lighter.
No. Honestly, probably not. I think I'd drive myself nuts.
Really?
Yeah. If I had company, I could. So I'm going away.
So if you don't like to be alone?
No. At times, like, I can have a day or two on my own, but if it was any longer than that, I like company. I'm quite a sociable person. I like the fact that I can go and do something with someone or speak to someone, irrelevant stuff, thoughts that goes in your mind, and anything, sports, football, Xbox. It's just the company of having someone. I don't think 2 days max. I mean, lockdown was hard enough, and the first week of lockdown was fun. I mean, there's still social media and stuff, but you're sheltered from everyone else. First week I was fine, and then afterwards that's when I got worse and worse and worse because I was missing people. So I don't think on my complete own I could. But if we were to share a log cabin, let's fucking go. Leave our phones, let's go.
Yeah. Well, I would love to do that. I would love, and I might do it one day. I think it's an amazing experience, mate. And you being by yourself, you learn a lot. You learn about yourself. You can try to forgive a lot of things that you think that it's your fault and it's not. You even become closer to yourself. You accept more the person you are. You try to understand. You become a lot more compassionate about yourself. And I think it's essential. And for example, I have spent a lot of time by myself, and I remember as a kid, when I was younger, sometimes I would get so nervous about going to places and meet people, and my biggest concern was all the time, will these people like me? And I remember until 2021 I would not even go to nightclubs, and by 23 I was working in one. And I remember being, oh, do you think these people are gonna like me? I was very concerned. I was very quiet, reserved. And by spending time alone and having these thoughts and learning about myself, I develop who I am today.
More confidence.
And I'm like, will I like these people? It's not,
Will they like
me? I don't care. It's, will I like these people? Will I want to spend time with these people? Do I even want to listen to these people?
I think that's a very strong point to get to be able to do that.
It took me like this is more than 10 years of reading, listening, and trying to implement things in your life, because we have read about certain books and you know how hard it is to filtrate that information and try to implement that on your life. It's not like you read one book one time and my life's changed. No, it's a daily struggle. You're constantly trying to apply that in your life and see if it works, or is this really me, or does it work for me?
I think you've also, it's not just about, because a lot of people read books or watch something on the news or TV or whatever, but they just listen to it. They don't learn it, they don't practice it. And it's one of the books I've read so many times, and that's because, well, number one, I enjoyed the book and I thought it was really helpful, but I was a bit like, I forget bits. I'm like, fuck, what's that? Something to do with this. So I go back and I read it, and listen to it, because reading's crap. And it's easy to you can do stuff as well, and then, you know, after 3 or 4 times you then start to make decisions subconsciously without realizing, because you actually now believe certain parts, and it makes you a stronger person and more confident. And I think there's a lot more people need to do that.
That's why I remember you guys saying, because all about life is repetition. If you like you said, you read that book so many times that you start applying stuff in your life. If you spend your life just going through the moment, and what is that show that you guys watch? That people go in a relationship, Love Island. That's poison, man.
Oh yeah.
Kids growing up watching that and think that's a relationship. It's supposed to look like that. Oh, it doesn't work. Let me swap partners, and then the partner is in the same house, something like that. It's not, and people watch that every day. And that's not good, man. That's repetition again.
I think a lot of people know there's issues with themselves, and they maybe choose to avoid it because it's obviously upsetting to them, or they know deep down, you know what, this would be too much stress to try and do anything about it or change. So they just avoid it, and then they never get around to it. And then it gets to a certain part of their life, whether they're 20, 40, whatever, where it hits them, and then they have to deal with it, and they're in different situations where it might actually be more difficult to deal with it because they've got kids, or do you know what I mean? And
that's a really good point you made there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people something is bugging them, and they don't do anything about it, and then it becomes a really big, and then they are pushed against the wall. And if you how many times you had like something wrong with you, and you don't take care of it, and then even physically you have like something on your arm or in your hand, and it's fine, it's bearable, and then it gets to a point that is unbearable, and you need to go to hospital.
Then you have to go.
And it's the same in your life. Something is not working right, but you just there because you're comfortable. Oh, this is going to be so hard when even in relationships, this is going to be so hard when I break up with this person. It's okay, it's still okay. And then something really bad happens. And then you put in the situation. Like, you knew this is going to happen. So why are you not doing something about it?
People choose. Deep down, they know. They choose to ignore it, and they put it off as it's not that bad.
They try to
and
convince themselves.
It's always never that bad until it catches up with them. It gets to a breaking point, and they can't cope. And then, you know, people react in ways they shouldn't, and change into a person sometimes for the worse because they've never dealt with it, and it's too far gone, and they've ruined certain aspects of their life. And you know, I think, well, me and you speak a lot about all this sort of like deep shit and like our thoughts, and I think we're very open with each other about like the stuff we think about and kind of what we go through, and we always give each other advice like, oh, maybe this, and you'll go off and you'll think about it, or I'll go off and I'll think about it, or I'll read a different book because you've recommended it, because I've said something 4 weeks down the line and you've gone, oh, you know what you said, you should read this book because that helped me. And it's addressing it, and if you never address it, you can't be happy.
You're in the same spot.
You're trapped in your own mind.
But I don't know where I've seen it or read it. There's a guy that said, imagine you're on the beach, and you're walking. I think it was Dr. Phil. And you're walking, and the sand is too hot, and you stop because the sand is boiling. You have two choices. You are in the middle of the beach. If you stay in the same spot, your feet's gonna keep burning. You either run back or you run forward. And a lot of people, when it's, for example, mental health, they just stay in the same place. And they're hurting, and they're letting their feet burn, and they're not making any move or any decision. But when it's physical, you make that run to the water or to go back. That's so true. Why don't people try to do the same with their mental health?
You can hide that. Yeah,
but that you shouldn't.
I know. And this is what I mean by the whole social media shit. You can hide that, and you can pretend to yourself that you're fine, and you'll put a nice picture up or whatever of you doing something every single fucking day, and people are liking it, and people going, oh my god, like that's so amazing, and it's filling you temporarily, not long term, because when it comes to a day and it's a Sunday and you feel shit and you haven't got this attention that has been given, that's when it hits you. But then what do? They'll go back and they'll cycle through it again, and they'll do the same thing, and they'll go, I have to go out and I have to do this, or I have to show everyone I'm doing right. And that's not the case. Like, you just got to address it, and when you address it, take the steps necessary to move forward. And everyone's different. It could take you 3 weeks. It could take you 2 years.
And that's it.
But if you never do it,
you completely stop.
And
that's it. Well, mate, I think that we pretty much covered it, and we went on a tangent again. And I'll see you next time, bro.
See you later, bro.